Ben Cubbage from ElevatedTrips.com. You can see my fluffy beard is blown in the wind, and we are at the bottom of Tiger Leaping Gorge, one of the deepest and narrowest gorges in the whole world. We're in Yunnan province, right between Lijiang and Shangri-La, and if you're traveling through Yunnan in western China, this is a must visit. This is a 2-day, 1-night hike, and we're gonna have some fun as we're hiking the hike today. Awesome. We're at Tiger Leaping Gorge. Okay, legend has it that there was a man hunting a tiger, and he shot his last arrow and was running after the tiger, and the tiger came down this gorge and actually jumped across the gorge at the narrowest point, which is right here. So gorge is about 16 meters across here, so you're looking at about 4,000 meters of vertical elevation up the mountain, and then 16 meters wide. So that's a lot of power coming through this narrow area right here. And you can see the water is moving, probably roughly around class 6 rapids. You'd probably drown instantly if you fell in. So this is the very bottom of Tiger Leaping Gorge. It is gnarly. Here at the ticket booth to Tiger Leaping Gorge. This is about a 2-day, 1-night hike, and it's probably one of China's best short hikes. Very popular. It's right in Northern Yunnan province. We're on the way from Lijiang to Shangri-La, and this will make a great 2-day stop along the way. You'll be hiking right here along the Yangtze River, along one of the bends of the Yangtze River, and behind me is the second tallest mountain in Yunnan, Jade Dragon Snow Mountain, or Yulong Shuishan. And that mountain is 5,996 meters and has never been climbed. And actually the river here, the hike follows the Yangtze River, and it's the drainage from the Jade Dragon Snow Mountain. So here we go, we're entering the park. It's gonna be exciting. Okay, this is the trailhead. The first hour of the hike. We start at 1,800 meters in the hike. You walk up to about 2,100 meters, and the first hour is paved on this road. Okay, so you start at this little village and start walking up the road, and then you get to Nashi Guesthouse. Great place to have lunch. And then after Nashi Guesthouse, you immediately ascend to the 28 bends, which is probably the hardest part of the hike, where you're ascending up 28 switchbacks to 2,800 meters. Hey, we're about 20 minutes into the hike. Just know once you start the road, there are quite a few trucks and cars in the first 20-30 minutes. So just be careful with that. There's quite a few traffic going up and down the road to the villages. But once you get to Nashi Guesthouse, the paved road will turn into a walking trail. So it'll be a little bit nicer, and you progressively get more and more into nature and a little bit more out of the villages. Family guest house. This is the first guest house you're going to see along the trail. So it's about an hour here. Great place to stop for lunch. Of course, you can also sleep here if you just want a really light first day, or you start late in the afternoon. They've got a nice restaurant that feeds probably 30-40 people, and hostel-like environment with simple beds, so you don't need to really bring anything except your clothes. So they provide the bedding and the food, which is great. So from Nashi Guesthouse, we're gonna walk about 4 hours here to the Teen Horse Guesthouse. So that's where we're sleeping. That's where a lot of people sleep. Some people also choose to go a little bit further and sleep at the halfway guesthouse. But tonight we're gonna go about another 6 kilometers to the Teen Horse Guesthouse. So you know, these are the bathrooms at the Nashi family guest house. Pretty simple, little squatty potty that kind of drops into the mountain. So 2 boys, 2 girls. So don't expect anything fancy, but they do have bathrooms. So trail's a little bit flat after the Nashi family guest house, and then you hit the 28 bends and you hit these switchbacks, and that's the hardest part of the trail. It usually takes about 2 hours to get up the 28 bends. And once you finish that, you should be at the high point of the hike, and it's all downhill from there. Okay, we're here at the top of the 28 bends at this little shack here. Usually in the summertime, in the high season, they charge you 10 kwai to walk out to this viewpoint, which I actually recommend paying, even though I'm not super into paying random people money for a viewpoint, but the view is good enough, it's worth the 10 kwai. But now in November, which is actually a great time to hike Tiger Leaping Gorge, there's no one collecting money here, so we're gonna go down to the viewpoint and check it out. All right, friends, we're here on the lookout point of Tiger Leaping Gorge, looking down on the mighty Yangtze River. It is beautiful up here. It's hard to tell, but we're kind of standing on this ridge that is totally exposed in the middle of nowhere. Probably about 1,000-meter vertical drop from us down to the river. It's awesome. Love Tiger Leaping Gorge. About 20 minutes from our guest house tonight, and moving downhill. After the 28 bends, it's all downhill, which is all super nice. Great morning in the Teen Horse Guest House. Beautiful view, the mountains behind us, and we're off on the trail, day 2. Okay, day 2 morning, we're walking. So you have this little road behind us. Pretty easy walking today. First day, you basically walk up to Nashi Family Guest House. Then you hit the 28 bends and you go up. You gain all your elevation the first day. You get to the top at 2,800 meters and it's all down from there. So day 2, today is all flat. We started out on this road. In about an hour, we're gonna narrow down to a small little road, small little dirt path that's gonna be basically flat, but follow the side ridgeline of the mountain, and we're gonna have incredible views. So it has an appearance of danger. The path is safe, but there's definitely a good 1,000-meter drop right next to the path. So be careful if you have kids. Just be mindful of that. I think it's safe for kids. I personally bring my 5 and 7-year-olds here, but it's your call as parents, but just do be mindful of the drop off next to the path. One of the coolest things about this trek is the village life you get to experience along the way. Here you see some corn drying behind us in one of these little houses here, looking right over Jade Dragonstone Mountain. Totally awesome. So a lot of the guest houses look very similar to this Tibetan or Nashi style courtyard with wooden doors. Very classic, beautiful housing. Not super advanced as far as facilities. They usually do have running water and bathrooms. You may or may not have hot water, but you know what you give up in comforts you exchange for this view right here. Okay, we're inside Halfway Guesthouse here. We're not sleeping here, but this is a nice place to stop, get a drink, refill some water. They also sell some snacks. The Halfway Guesthouse, despite its name, is actually more like 2/3 along the way. So if you actually sleep here in Tiger Leaping Gorge, which is an option, your next day will be very short. So on our particular trek, we chose to sleep at the D-Horse Guesthouse, which is the actual halfway point, and then stop here for a little break. It's about 11:30, and we should be down to Tina's guest house at the very end of the trail, right around probably 1 o'clock today. The thing I really love about the halfway house, and most of the guest houses, is the multi-level stone architecture. It's really super cool, and here's a little view from halfway. Guys, second day of the trail. The trail is very flat, but you can see it is very steep, so just be careful here. The trail is probably 2 or 3 meters wide in most places, so it's quite safe, but there are some places there's a really big drop right down in the gorge, so just be mindful. Don't be playing on your phone, don't be chatting too much. I even recommend just being quiet here for a few minutes and just kind of enjoying the sounds of nature, the waterfalls as you pass them, and yeah, just be present here. And just take cautious and slow steps and you'll be okay. Into Tina's guest house. This marks the last few hundred meters of the trail here, and I'll be happy to get a little lunch at Tina's. Okay, we're in Tina's. We just finished the Tiger Leaping Gorge trek. Time for some good food. Wow! All right, guys, that completes our Tiger Leaping Gorge trek. 2 days, 1 night, 20 kilometers total, and we finished here at Tina's. Now we're back to Lijiang. Awesome. Subscribe to our YouTube and check us out.